All right. So we are here with Mars Hill head coach Tim Clifton to talk about the upcoming 2022 season. Coach Clifton, welcome. And I just want to start out asking, just how does the team look? Obviously, camp hasn't started yet, but after the spring and maybe some summer workouts and things, how are things looking going into this season?
Well, we're really excited about where we are. We've got some guys coming back from the team we had a year ago, a pretty good bit of guys. And, we're just excited about what it looks like this season. But, I think last year will propel us to this year. And I think we got a lot of guys that are hungry. They worked. I thought we had a really, really good spring. And we've had guys in here working out this summer and doing a great job. We're working extremely hard. So I think their mentality right now is in the right place. I think their efforts in the right place. But it's a long journey. So like I tell them, I tell them all the time, and you can get excited that first week of practice and everything. About the 7th week, are you still having the same excitement? And
exactly.
He's going to hit, so that's the unknown, and the chemistry is always the unknown, and the culture is always the unknown.
Yeah, when you talk about chemistry, culture, you guys actually have a decent amount of returners, and including a few all-conference performers on the defensive side of the ball. How does the defense look going into this year?
I think we can run. I think that's one of the things you got to be able to run. And I think our two linebackers, Dexter Fitzpatrick and Landon Honeycutt, I think they're as good as anybody. I think in the country at our level. And then I think Christian Rankin at corner is as good as you're going to find at corner. And then Nick Jackson, who played safety for us last year, brings back a lot of experience and is really a good safety. And then Demipi Lamboni and Tarshawn Reed on the defensive line. I think they just bring back, some speed and a lot of playing time. All those guys have had a lot of playing time. But I think our two inside linebackers, I think they're the guys that are going to run that defense and lead that defense. They're really good players, and I just think that's going to be the core of our team. And I think Jabril Norman, who is another linebacker that plays in with them and then plays on the edge, I think he gives you an opportunity to have depth and be really good at that position.
Talked a little bit about, you have a lot of leadership, you have some good experience. Obviously, camp hasn't started yet, but just who do you think are some of the new faces that may make an impact coming into the year?
Well, we hadn't seen them yet. I mean, they hadn't played for us yet, yeah. And that's always a hard thing to do, figure out. I think where we need help is it's safety, and somebody's going to have to step in there, and I think that's a place we're going to need help. And, I think the other places, there'll be one or two places that we'll need help. But I don't really, as you look at it and you sign people, you don't really know.
Yep.
And probably the best example is we took Jonas Randolph years ago, and we took another running back, and the other running back had much better high school film, and we thought would definitely be the guy, and then Jonas Randolph set all the records. So you just don't know till they get here, and I don't really put out anything on anybody yet because they haven't really lined up and played for us yet. But that's where we need help, defense, and then on offense we're going to need a little help with our offensive line. I think we got where else.
Okay. So shifting gears a little bit, obviously we've got a lot of new faces in the SAC this year. We're going to have Emory and Henry, going to have Erskine and Barton. As we add those teams to the mix along with what we currently have, how does the dynamic of the conference change, or does it become more competitive, or what do you see happening with the league right now?
Well, I think the league it's always been tough. It's always been a tough league. To me, it's no different than playing, if you're talking with the big guys, no different playing the SAC. You got to play every week. If you don't play every week, you got a chance of getting knocked off or getting beat. And then there's a group of teams that we're probably in the that are every year you play, there's a chance you can win or lose. I mean, it's just that group of teams, and I just think it's a tough conference to play in. I like splitting the conference. I really like that. I like having a championship game at the end. I think that is really good for the conference. I think that the group of teams that are coming in, I think that has really helped us to get where we want to be in football as a football conference. And I think you'll see a lot of excitement this year and people peeking on each side to see, all right, I know people follow scores and people watch this one. I've always been such an old school guy. I don't really care who won last week or somebody come in. You see where so-and-so beat so-and-so? Nah, I haven't looked at it. And I never look at the rankings. I'm never one of those guys. And I don't look at the stats. When Rucker was here, Rucker's leading in this category. The guys that really don't matter. Just keep getting him the ball and let's go from there. So, but I think this excitement this year, I think you're going to see it different. I think you're going to see it different with the schools, with the universities, with the fans. I think it's going to be different for the fans, and I think there's going to be a lot of commotion going on after about mid-year when somebody says, well, they've lost here and they've lost a year. Well, they're in this conference, they're in this side of the conference. I think that's going to get everybody going. I think the people that like to do the websites and all that and the D2.com, I think all those people will have a lot of fun. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun for the conference. I think y'all going to enjoy it. I think y'all going to have to be looking at it going, man, this thing could get a little hairy here. Yeah. And now all of a sudden some pressures on y'all's end and on Patrick's end. And, I'll be excited y'all get some of that pressure, man.
Yeah, we're excited about it. I'm not looking forward to having to potentially do tiebreakers because that was always, football pretty easy. Who won, who didn't, and who ended up with the best record. Now we're going to have a little bit more, but it will be exciting. Speaking of that, obviously, does that change the motivation of the team? Do you think? Does that change the attitude of the year? Now knowing, coming into that last week, you're going to have, you may be scheduled to play, Wingate in that last week, but if you're in the championship game and they're not, or in that fight for it, that opponent changes now.
Yeah, I think what it does do, I think it gives you a definite champion, if that makes sense. I think that's where it's different, because you could have the same record in the league and have beaten the team that's got the same record as you, and y'all split the title. And I always thought that was the right way to do it anyway, that you split it. But now this is definitely, when it's over, and that champ is that champ. And there won't be any splitting. We split it one year with LR, and so I think that's going to bring a huge excitement to the end. And as that thing goes down to the end, there are going to be more people watching.
There most certainly will. All right, so last question. As you get ready for this year and looking at the league as a whole, who is Mars Hill's biggest rival, or who is the team that you, as Tim Clifton, I want to know Tim's opinion on this. Who's the team you want to beat year in and year out?
All them suckers.
I knew you were going to say that.
One of them.
I knew you'd say that.
Every one of them.
You got to have that one.
I've been in it so long that it is 1 year it's Wingate, 1 year it's LR, 1 year it's Tusculum. I mean, when people ask me, and I have recruits that come and say, well, who's your biggest rivalry?
Yeah.
I say all of them. Every one of them, you know.
All right.
And
so I'm going to change it there. I'm going to change it a little bit then, because I know you're going to say everybody. But, all right. So you've been in the league a long time. We've got a lot of coaches who have been in the league a long time. Who's the coach you like to match up against? That game is, from a coaching standpoint, that's just fun. And then if you win it, it's even better.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, Joe and I have been in the league a long time.
Yeah.
And we're really good friends. And when we play Wingate, for some reason, he and I were talking about it this summer. For some reason, in the last few years, 8 or 10 years, that game has really meant something.
Yeah.
That at the end of the year, you know, and we've got a few of them, and he's got a few of them, you know, and it meant a lot this year, you know, and I think because it sort of meant something every year. You know, it's a great rivalry with us and them, and you know, every year it's just a little different. Who's in what spot, and then I think us and Newberry have unbelievable games. You know, and Todd's been there a while, and then LR is I mean, we've had some great games with them over the years, and you know, if I had to say, you know, the two that have been in the league the longest, you know, we got a field, and we like to really play each other, and we know it's going to be a battle. LR has just been a school battle, if that makes sense. That's always been. It didn't matter who was there. It's always been.
It's always a battle.
We're gonna do this, you know, and it's on the line every time. And there was a time when Ken Sparks was in the league. It was we set everything at Carson Newman's level back when he was in the league. Everything we did extra, we'd say, this is to beat Carson Newman, and this is to beat Carson Newman. We're doing this to beat Carson Newman. This is what we got to do to beat them. Shoot, those suckers, Ken Sparks got us so many times, it was ridiculous. You know, so, but that was the one you had to reach to back then. You know, now, you know, again, Wingate, Joe and I it's always meaning something. And then Todd and our games are always barn burners. So
I would agree. I think those are probably two of the best, at least from my standpoint. I would agree.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I like both those guys. We've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah. That's from our perspective, you know, even like a fan perspective, it's always fun to watch the coaches that you can tell know each other, that, you know, they have a good camaraderie, but yet they're very competitive with each other, and it makes the games really enjoyable. So always great.
And like I don't on Saturday I don't like Joe Reich at all. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. When the game starts, I don't like it anymore. When the game's over, you know, he and I are really good friends, and before the game, when it starts, nah.
I understand. Well, Tim, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us this morning. Everybody, it's Mars Hill head coach Tim Clifton, as they will get their season underway here in just a few weeks. And Coach, thanks again for talking with us.
Thank you, and I appreciate your time. Appreciate what you do for us.
Thank you very much, sir.